Good evening. Welcome back to Frozen Prairie Scouting. Now, I've been trying to put this one out for, a couple of days. It takes obviously a while to put something like this together, and then we get hit with Trade Mania there. So, tried to make some adjustments here, and hopefully I got it all right. Who knows? By the time I post this up, there could be three more trades that happen, but I'm excited to bring this for you. As I said, it took me a little bit to put it together, but here we go. This will be my final mock draft before Friday here. I'm going to go for 3 rounds, and it is kind of if I was the GM style, kind of what I would do with each team. I'll go through some of my favorite, people that have obviously a lot of picks, what my favorite hauls are, and then maybe a couple underrated picks that I see coming out of this draft. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to try and get through this relatively quick for you guys so it doesn't take up too much of your time. Number one, Gavin McKenna. I think it's pretty well known this guy is going to be a Leaf, and I think it's a great fit for both sides, and I do think we could have a potential Calder Trophy winner here at number one. At number two, obviously with all the trades for San Jose, I think it's a foregone conclusion they're going to take Stenberg, or if the Leafs do something crazy, then they'll take McKenna. But I think they're getting one of the two forwards here, which I think is the right call here. I think they made a really good deal, picking up some of those guys there. And then Vancouver, I have them going with Verhoff here. I heard through a couple podcasts there is some love for him. I personally really, really like him. I think that there is he is the highest ceiling in the draft for defensemen. That's my personal opinion. You got the size, you got a good skate, you got a guy that's going to work on his skating. He's talked about it a lot. You got a guy that can shoot well. Good enough defenseman. I think he improved a lot in the second half of the year on that, and he's got a lot of offense in him. So I think he has all the tools to be a very good defenseman. And let's be honest, Vancouver has the time to wait. Let him get another year in university. Put him down in the minors there, bring him up a little bit, bring him along nicely, and I really think you're gonna see a really good defenseman here. Like, let's remember this guy was at 30 goals in the WHL as a 16-year-old. Like that didn't go anywhere. He's in a better level, and I think it was good for him to challenge himself, just like Gavin. Gavin could have stayed in the WHL this year and put up 170 points if he wanted to. Especially with the Rocket Twins and how they played. These guys challenged themselves. They went up against some men that were 25, 26 years old, guys that have pro experience now. Like, they were challenging themselves. 4, Buffalo picking up that pick. They're going to grab Chase Reed here. Obviously trading Poland Byram for the 4th overall pick, which I know a lot of people hate it. I think it's a great move by Chicago. You're getting a guy closer into their group there with Bedard. And I think Bowen Byram might put up 70 next year. I know people are joking about it. I think he could. He's playing with, he'll be the number one guy now. New York, I have them grabbing Malhotra, build down the middle. Let's see what they do too. I think there's something up their sleeve here this week too, for the Rangers, but right now I have them grabbing Malhotra. The Flames, Carson Karels, they got Nemec, Perek. Now you pick up your left-handed defenseman there. You build from the back end here, and you grow from the back end. Let's get these top guys for defensemen, and now you need a lefty with Nemec and Perek. You grab Karels. It's a great grab. Seattle, I got the Maverick Schmitz. I think it's a great spot for him. He'll be able to come in. He'll probably play in Coachella Valley next year. Get used to the North American ice, but this is a guy that, maybe at the end of the year you start to see him come up and play some more games and pick up some minutes there. Winnipeg, Vigo, they got to do it. Get Bjork here. Unbelievable player. I know the people are saying the Flames, but I think if Karels is there, you got to grab him for the Flames. But Vigo will look really good in Winnipeg. It could be their future second line center. Another guy, maybe they could bring him over, put him in the Manitoba Moose, let him get used to the ice here. I think they'll be really happy with a guy like that. A lot of hints of Nick Suzuki Nico Hischier. This is a guy that is going to be an NHL player. And then San Jose, obviously, with this next pick. Now you got Stenberg, you got Rudolph, you get your right-handed defenseman. I love Daxon Rudolph. I think he's gonna be a really good NHLer in the future here. Nashville, grab Wyatt Cullen. Let's get some skill. You got Brady Martin, a guy that is, that kind of that crash bash with a little bit of that. Then you bring this guy with skill who can really work off of guys like Martin. I think it'll be a really good grab for them. Hop into 11 now, where St. Louis has now kind of owns this part of the board here. Tynan Lawrence, get that centerman. He would be a great blue. Plop him behind Robert Thomas. Thomas will take some of that heat off of him, but I think Tynan Lawrence is a top 6 centerman here. Lots of skill, great vision, great skater. Will look really good. He might even, you can move Dvorsky over to the wing now. It would just be you're really helping out that top 6 there with all the players that they have. You got Jake Neighbors, who can play both wings there. Bit more of that crash bash, old school style of hockey. Gets the net. I think that those kinds of players, Tynan Lawrence, can really help. We got New Jersey. They're going to go big here. Ethan Belchet's out of Windsor. He would have gone at 9 if Florida still had that pick, but I think he slides here to. So New Jersey grabs Belchet's, gets some size up on there. A guy that's got a lot of finish. I think he'll look really good with Jack Hughes. He'll be a top 6 player for sure, and he'll bring that crash and bang, help them kind of build on what they're doing out there. Next, I got the Islanders grabbing Alexander Command. I can't remember who said it, but they said that Command was one of the hardest players they had to play against, and that's kind of what New York Islanders style. You got Braden Shen there. It could be moving Barzal. I don't know. Possibly. So they're building that kind of hard to play against team there, and Command's that kind of player. You know what you're going to get out of him. He's not going to be the huge point guy, but he'll be a third line center, and every team needs a good one. Columbus, I got them grabbing Multi Gustafsson from HV 71 there. Solid defenseman, skates well, looked really good in the SHL this year. Just a pro style hockey player. And there is quite a bit of offense with him as well, and I think that's why you're going to see him go a little bit higher. There is some of that. And I think we'll see more of it next year too. And always good to start to build more in that back end. And I really hope they don't trade Werenski. I'd like to see him stay in Columbus his whole career. I'd like to see Columbus do really well too. Then St. Louis, I got them grabbing Dagenet. Just a player that I've started to really love as the progression here through the draft season as well. The more I watch some of his video, guy's got speed as well. He's got a good size. He can play down the middle. I could see him moving in the top 6 as well. But he could be just an unbelievable third line forward that has that touch there, and a guy that you really need in the playoffs. And I think that there's a lot of game there with Dagenet. St. Louis then grabs with their third pick here in a short span, Ryan Lynn. High IQ defenseman, makes a lot of really good plays. Heading off to Denver here. I think he'll be a steal here at 16. Prior to the draft season, I had him kind of going in the top 10, but again, this top 10 to 20 almost can go any way. But Ryan Lynn, I'm a big fan of him. With that injury this year, I think it kind of slowed his stock down a little bit, but whenever he played, this kid is he just dissects on the rink very, very well. LA Kings, I got them grabbing the big center out of Tapara, Oliver Savanto. I think he would be a great LA King. The Pacific's going to get tougher and tougher every year now that Anaheim's on a bit of roll. San Jose's coming. You still got Edmonton. It's going to be tough. And the Kings are still pretty good too. So get that big center and see if he can be a little bit better. There's more offense there than what his point totals show, but he's a guy that played a ton of games and minutes in the Liga this year as a draft eligible, and kept himself in the lineup every night. So I mean that's something to say. Then Washington now with their only pick, I still got them grabbing Klepoff. I think they need that offense, even though they just grabbed Kyrou in the trade. But Klepoff is a guy that you win by scoring goals, and this guy he brings it, either scoring them himself or dishing around. So I think he'd be a great pickup here for the Capitals. Utah Mammoth, one of my favorite prospects here in the top 20, Adam Novotny. Just a solid all-around player, and has a pretty lethal shot, in my opinion. So I think this would be a great pickup for the Mammoth going forward. Number 20, you got Buffalo Sabres, and they're grabbing Oscar Hemming. So look at them go now coming into this draft. So Chase Reed, Oscar Hemming, you can't really complain with that, can you? All right, so here we go with continuing here. Philadelphia, I got them grabbing Ilya Morozov. Obviously, was one of the youngest players in the NCAA for a long time this year. Played a lot of minutes, trusted a lot in Miami of Ohio. I think this is a kid that will at minimum be a third line center, and could maybe move himself up. I think there is some offense there. I think he was a very smart, high IQ. And this would be a great little pickup for the Philadelphia Flyers. Next, I got Pittsburgh grabbing the skilled winger out of Kamloops, J.P. Hurlburt. Came out in a storm in the WHL this year. Just a guy that's offensive, right? I think he's going to round out his game a bit more in Michigan in the next couple of years. But again, Pittsburgh, they've had a lot of success with guys going to Michigan. I got Will Harkoff, right? He's playing really, really well. So I think this is another great pickup for them. Boston, got them grabbing Sokolovsky, big man out of London, great defense. Well, just a defenseman. I think he's going to keep developing. I think going back to London for one more year is a great move by him. Just keep playing a lot of minutes, getting used to this style of game, and I think they're going to have a tough back end there in Boston in the future with this guy coming in. Vancouver, grabbing a high-skilled player, Elton Hermanson. A lot of fun to watch this guy. He does a lot of things really well, and I think it just screams a Vancouver pick, especially with the Sedins up there. I think that this would be a great pickup for them. One of the most skilled guys in the draft as well. Ottawa then grabs Hawkinson. Overall, just a solid defenseman. He makes good decisions, both as a defender, and then when he's got the puck, he manages it really well by making good passes, good plays. Plays that pro style of game, and I think continue there. I don't know how Hensler is developing right now, but maybe they can use Hensler as a trade chip for the future and bring in Hawkinson on that left side there behind Sanderson and Chabot. Next, I got New York grabbing Jack Hextall. This is a player that's got some good offense. Center that projects well, kind of that middle six. I'm hoping to see more in college. Like, his numbers didn't jump off the page to me for a player, that's supposed to go in the first round in the USHL. But he's got the IQ, he's got the smarts. Like, he does a lot of things really well. And a lot of people, obviously, he projects as a centerman, and a lot of people want to grab that. So I have him going a little bit higher here, and I think the Rangers would be a good team for him. Next, I got the Sharks grabbing Blale. Man, this kid can skate. He's mobile. I think going back to Moncton for one more year is great. Learn a bit more from Gardner McDougall. Kind of broke a bunch of records for rookie off defenseman. I think that this is a player that will develop well, and he's not in any rush. Montreal have them grabbing the kid Nikita Shchibakov. We know Montreal's not scared of the Russians. This is a player that's got a lot of growth potential. Great poise with the puck when it's in possession. He's got actually very good mobility for a big defenseman. A guy that I watch a bit more. Obviously, there's a lot of growth that needs to happen, but this is a kid that big, skates well, has some poise with the puck, playing professionally already out there. So this is a guy that I think will sneak himself into the first round, and I wouldn't be shocked if it's Montreal that does it. St. Louis then grabs Mathis Preston. I love watching this kid play. Big fan. He's got skill, speed, shot, and now that they lost Kyrou, this is a guy that he's got that speed. I don't think he'll be Kyrou, but I think he's got a lot of that ability. So that I would grab Mathis Preston here at 29. The Flames then grab Adam Valentini. I think people are sleeping on him. He's got a high hockey IQ. I think the Flames got to pounce on him. He's a good skater. Showed really well as an underage in college this year, especially on a really good team. I see a top 6 forward here in development. And then Carolina, Juho Pepperinen. This is a pro player. Simple, smart plays, relieves pressure, moves the puck up nice, fits really well in that Carolina system. He could be a 4 or a 5 for them, but he's going to be an NHL player, I see, in this guy. And then rounding out the top 32 here in the first round. And then Igor Shilov finished off the first round here. And then we get into the next round here. Sorry, I think there's some editing issues here, but whatever. Vancouver Canucks grab Nicholas Aram-Olsson. Great shot. Shoots from a lot of different angles. He competes hard every shift. He had 20 goals this year and 20 assists in that U20 league as a draft eligible. So obviously shows a lot of offense here. Next, I got Chicago grabbing Adam Gollier, a guy that has a good offensive IQ, gets a lot of pucks through, good skater. I actually like the way he closes his gaps well. And obviously big right-handed defensemen are going to be a little bit higher on my list. Next, I got Seamus Ignatavicius, a relentless motor, projectable third-line energy guy that can chip in here or there. He makes good reads on the D, finishes checks, a guy just like that type of player. And the boys you want to see together, the Flames grab the Ruck twins here at 35 and 36. I don't think people are going to grab Liam unless they know they're going to get Marcus, and I think that's going to move him down a little bit on the boards here. Oh. I'm just going to move that all together. We got Ben McBeth going to Chicago, smooth mobile D. Has a good offensive upside, joins the rush and the play in the offensive zone. Really good skater, moves the puck well, and holds the line really well too with his surfing and movement. Joins in, can break up plays at the top there. I really like what he does. Ryder Cali next to Seattle, I see bottom 6 winger. He wins good battles, and I think there's a lot more to this guy's development. Obviously, he's a big. He's got some good size to him, and he chips in here and there, so not too bad. Zav, this is Zav. I think I've had him in the first round of Pittsburgh, but I think he'll end up dropping out, but I don't think Pittsburgh will let him get too far. It's a guy that'll run their power play in the future. Casey Mutrin, big player, skates, competes. He'll be a good power forward. He brings a lot of elements. These NTDP guys, I think their numbers are going to end up doing really well in college. They just had a tough go. The team wasn't that great. And I think Casey Mutrin will be a lot of fun to watch with Hemming. Vancouver then grabs Matthias Van Hanen. The kid creates a ton of offense. He sees the ice really, really well. And I love watching this kid dissect in the ozone. Nashville, this is where Ryan Rubrick's fall ends. Okay, take a chance on this guy. He's going to have a really good year next year at Guelph. I think he's going to find that game again. I mean, he still scored 30 this year in Niagara, which wasn't that strong. But he has all the tools to be a great NHL player. Nordmark, fun player to watch, great second liner, or he's going to be nothing in the NHL. He's a top 5 player in the skill category in this draft. I love Marcus Nordmark, and I think Columbus would be a great spot for him. Then you got Gleb Pugachev. Hits everything. He's a guy you're going to need in this over here, right, in New Jersey. Let's get some energy going. He might be a guy that plays up and down the lineup too. There is a lot of skill here. He might be one of those guys that ends up playing with a high-end offense guy like Jack Hughes, makes a little bit of space for him and can make some plays to him. Buffalo with the newly required pick 45. They grab Brooks Rogowski, the big player from Oshawa. Good skill. Would like to see him use his size a bit more, add some toughness. I think, again, another one of those players. Some of these guys, it's great that they move on to college, but he's another player that I think go back to Oshawa, be the guy, work on some things, build yourself up, right? His numbers don't scream first rounder to me, and I really hope nobody does that jump again. I think we got to learn our lessons there. Next, we got Los Angeles grabbing Chase Harrington. Okay, projectable player. He's got a good IQ. Man, the guy's almost a point a game with 105 PIMs. Love seeing those kinds of numbers, especially when you're in the Pacific Division. Let's get mean out there. This is a good grab for them. Really love what they're doing there. Detroit Red Wings. I think they'll grab the Jackson Cover. Fun to watch. This kid just dissects the D-man in the game so well. He's got a really high IQ and has a lot of room to improve. And another guy, happy he's staying in London next year. Like, some guys it's great to jump. Some guys let's stay, build on ourselves. Florida, pick 45. Why not grab the guy that's been passed over a couple of years, a little bit closer development-wise, Ethan McKenzie. We all saw what he did at the World Juniors this year as an undrafted player. He's got a great two-way game, and I think he'll be a player that does so well at UND next year. Los Angeles, then they grab Pierce Mbui out of Owen Sound. High IQ and motor, good skill. I want a little bit more from this guy. I think that we got to do a little bit. He's got more in him. He's been kind of a power play merchant here, but I know there's a lot there. I watched this kid's game. I think like the way he sees the game and everything, and he's got that skill. I think he'll be a really good player. I think he's headed out to Penn State, so I think that'll be a great spot for him. Anaheim then grabs Rudolph Spursgalson. He's a big player. They like to draft those kinds of guys lately. 6'4", he's got a bottom six projection. A lot of things need to improve here, but he's still a really young player. And that's kind of what you want to grab here, is like a guy that you can project really well. And I'd also like to see a little bit of toughness added to his game. Some of these, the game's kind of coming back to that tough playoff style hockey. You need to have that in your game to be successful in the NHL. And some of these guys, like, the skill's gonna be really strong, but you got to be able to win battles. You got to be able to hold your own. You got to be able to do all of that. And I'd like to see some of these guys, especially with some of the sizes they have, like, use that. Nils, we got a competitive winger, loves to shoot, loves to score, wins good puck battles. A guy that I would grab from the Flames here. The Oilers, they grab one of my favorite players in the top 60 here. High-skilled winger, Noah Kosick. Something when you look at him, he's got a pro style to him. The game is really easy for him. Like, he can do things players just can't. Again, he's heading to Michigan. It'll be awesome to see him there. He's got that take you out of your seat skill. So I'm hopeful that he does really well there. Jakub Vanecek, the D out of Tri-City. This guy takes a lot of shots. This guy loves shooting the puck whenever he can. He's got a good two-way game. He can overdo it on the offensive side a little bit and get himself in trouble. But again, that's a maturity thing. I think he'll slowly get better at that. Then we got Pittsburgh grabbing Victor Plante. Just seems like another Pittsburgh pick. Put myself a bit in Dubas' shoes here. He's got a high motor. I'm excited to see what he does with his brothers. And just like some of those other NDDP guys I see and that are coming up here, I think their point totals are going to shoot up in college. And you got Giorgio Pantelis, the Flames grab, the good defenseman out of Brandon. Big boy, good gaps, plays that pro style, simple, easy game. I project him in the NHL. Could be a third line a third pairing defenseman, but man, he's got that shutdown. He could move up into that top four defenseman. I loved his kind of game there, and he knows what he is, and he works on it. He's got a good amount of skill. Like, you can't make the NHL without skill, but you also have to do things better than other guys do it. And he is a shutdown defenseman, and he knows it, and he does it really well. Then Boston, they grabbed Thomas Chirenko. Guy has got some good skill, good IQ, and he's an energy forward, skates well. Good player. I really like him, and I think it'd be a good fit here at the 56 pick. Coming in the end of the second round here, we got Samu Alaluri going to Nashville. They've had a lot of good success with some European defensemen. This guy's a strong skater, defends a puck rush really well, good puck retriever, and under pressure he's not bothered by it. He makes good plays. This kid's got some offense in him as well, and I think obviously we see that in the top 100. Most of these guys have been the players on their team. So you'll see that they have all of that, but I project him to be in that, 4-5 spot in the future. You got Galvis. Kind of see a bit of a theme here. The older for the class, strong transition D-man, smooth skater. He's got a good IQ in all three zones. Like, he's not just offensive, not just defensive. He can do a little bit of all of it. And, I have the older guy kind of going to Tampa. There's not a lot of picks. I think, let's get some guys that are a little bit closer. Dallas. This is Weego Sorensen. This guy's got speed, and he takes advantage of it. Wow. I saw a few things, like this guy just gets the puck in stride and just blows by defensemen, blows through defensemen. He makes D-man miss with that, and he scored a lot of goals off of it. So this guy skates probably might be one of the fastest in the class, I would say, or at least on video it looks like he could be. Timothy Runso out of Victoria, solid defender. He took advantage of being a go-to guy in Victoria this year. Another guy that I would have liked to have him stay one more year in the dub. And who knows, maybe he will, but right now it looks like he's off to college. But he's got good size, he skates well, and actually put up a lot of numbers there in Victoria. I really liked watching him this year. Charlie Morrison to Montreal. This feels like a good Montreal pick. He's a great rush defender, staircase as well, takes that time and space away from forwards. Just a really strong defender. And he's got that third pairing style. Skates well, closes gaps, does the little things well. I got San Jose grabbing Alexander Balicki out of Kitchener. He's got a lot of room to grow. Showed some good stuff this year in Kitchener. Showed some stuff that projects well at the next level. Obviously has the IQ to figure it out, and I think he's going to be more of a go-to guy in Kitchener next year. Great program there. He'll develop well, and then we'll see what he does. New York, I have them grabbing Igor Barabanov here. Now, I have trouble with this guy because he shows a lot of good stuff on video. Good poise with the puck, good offensive instincts, but he's one of those guys I could see that his numbers and his game was inflated by playing with a guy like Klepov, or because his numbers weren't great prior to this year. And like, he shows some really good stuff on there, and I do really like his game, but I also could see that he might have been taking advantage, like we've seen in the past with some of these guys who haven't worked out, that they just can't figure it out when they don't have their guy to play with. But right now I have him in here. There's a lot of things I really like about his game. Like, as I said, he shows great instincts offensively, good passer, good poise with the puck. But that would be my one hesitation is he a bit inflated by Klepov? All right, 65, Mans Goodmanson. Right-handed D, third pairing potential. One of those guys that holds the line really well, and he anticipates it really well when pucks are coming up. He's a good hitter, good puck mover out of the zone. Chicago grabs Adam Anderson, 6'4" center, plays a strong defensive center game, so he projects in that bottom six. Um, I see more to his game. I think he's going to be a bit more two-way, but I do think that at the next level he will be that, projectable defensive center, a guy that you need though. And he's got the size, he's got the skating, but he let him play his game. He's got the IQ to be able to do that, and you want players like that. You don't want to change them too much. Levere, Gashlov, yes, I have New York grabbing quite a few Russian players here, but they tend to do that sometimes. Guy that needs to mature in his game, but man, he's got good offense and playmaking. He manipulates D-men really well, set up his teammates really well. He's got a lot of that playmaker ability. Cooper Williams out of Saskatoon going to Calgary. He is a Calgary boy. Two-way center, plays both sides of the puck well. Projects really well in that third line. He's got some offense that he can chip in, but he's a guy that can play against the tougher matchups. He's always above the puck. He's always in the right spot to relieve pressure from his D-man in the zone to get a breakout started. He anticipates a lot of plays too, with his stick defensively. He could jump on them, turn them into offense. I've been watching this kid for years, and there's a lot to really like about his game, and I can see him getting to the next level. Victor Fyodorov to Toronto. He plays a mature game. He's got that two-way center. There's a few of those guys here in this round. We got the defensive center in Anderson. We got a great two-way forward in Cooper Williams that, plays that game really well in that third-line center. Victor Fyodorov, I see him very similar in that. High hockey IQ. These guys are... Cooper and Victor have a really high hockey IQ. Adam Anderson has a good hockey IQ, but he's very defensive and does that really, really well. I got Nashville taking Oscar Hallmertz. Good speed around the ice. Nice vision on the ice, creates chances with his skating and skill. Dane Bucher. I'm a big fan of this kid. I can't wait to watch more of him now that he's coming out to Lethbridge in the WHL. He's a playmaking center, great distributor of the puck, silky passer. At points, there was times where he drove that line that he was playing with Cullen and Bearchild. Still would like to add another element of speed, but he's a great player. Thomas Vandenberg to Ottawa here, relentless competitor. He's got a good shot. He's a two-way player from the Ottawa region as well. I hope they're not too scared. I do really like Vandenberg, and I think he'd be a good fit here. It wasn't just because he's from Ottawa, right? St. Louis, they're taking a deadly shooter. This guy can shoot. I think he could have been ranked a little bit higher, but he dealt with a bit of an injury this year. He manipulates his shot when he's at speed too. I think this would be a great grab here. Colorado grabbing Brett Liskey. Liked him a lot this year. I watched quite a bit of him. He's a projectable two-way defenseman you can trust in all situations. Decent skater. I think he's going to add a bit more of that element. I think he'll develop really well. Then I got St. Louis grabbing Axel Elofsson, offensive defenseman. Moves really, really well. Over a point per game in U20 this year and almost a point per game in the playoffs. Love his skate. Actually, great skater. And he's got great vision of making a lot of passes, especially in the offensive zone. St. Louis, I grabbed. Apparently, this is the best goalie, Tobias Trejbal. I've heard him here. I don't know a lot about goalies, but if he stops the puck, he stops the puck. That's kind of the way I look at it. New York, Jonas Sivertson slowly moved up the lineup here on a very good team. Impressed me every time I watched him live as well. Really like him. Vancouver grabs Zach Olsen, speedy, gritty forward. He projects as a third liner at the next level. Detroit, Jardine, Michigan boy, good offensive IQ. He's going to need a lot of time to develop in college. Again, these USHL guys, competition wasn't great this year for them. I got Los Angeles grabbing Borichev, the goalie. He might be the number one guy. I don't know. Just stop the puck. Van Hattelo is next here. Vilho Van Hattelo to New York. Big, good skater type of player teams want to develop with that size. Anaheim Ducks grab back at Hamilton. Adaptable, high IQ hockey player, good speed, smart forecheck, checker. Red Deer wasn't strong this year. I think there's more to this guy's game on the offensive side. I got Utah grabbing Lars Steiner. Has that typical all-around game you see. He's got that Swiss style of game. Good skating, can drive the play a bit with his offensive smarts. He can disrupt plays to create offense on the forecheck. He uses that skating and everything. I really liked him when I watched him this year. Vladimir Drevecki out of Brantford there. And I think he's moved into Guelph too now. Good skater. He needs development, but was used a lot on a good team, and it looks like he's going to Guelph, which is another good team. There's a lot there to his game, and I think it's going to take him some time to develop, as defensemen tend to do. Plays smart, and he surfs well on the top there. I got Beckham Edwards going to Toronto at 85. I was higher on him early. Still think there's a player here in the bottom six. He's got a strong IQ, smarts of the game, defensive game, needs some work as young players do. NCAA will be a good spot for him. Blake Zielinski, pretty good shot. Point totals don't jump off the page in the USHL. He actually looked really good in international tournaments when I watched. Tells me a lot that he likes the big stage, and he likes to take that backdoor one-timer. That's a hard shot to figure out, so if you got a guy that can do it, it's awesome. Alessandro Di Orio or Lorio. I wanted a lot more from this kid this past year. He shows a lot of flashes, but it's not consistent. He's got a good defensive game, so that's nice to know. Boston, I have them grabbing the top-ranked North American goalie. They tend to develop really well on those, and it seems if the kid falls to here, I think you would just grab him. Oleg Kulibiakin, Halifax, calm, elite skill. Just the game just seems really easy to him. The kid scores. He wows you a bit. Some of those goals he scored is crazy. Got Mikey Bearchild, another guy from that Cullen Bucher Bearchild line. High compete, skates well. He was a difference maker on the forecheck here, and I think that helps him project well. Liam Lefebvre, he's a year above in this draft class, so he was passed over last year. Had a really good season this year in Chicoutimi, especially going to the Mem Cup. He was a point per game there. I could see him squeezing into the future bottom six. New York, they grab Fedosiev. Take a chance on this kid. They do well with Russians, so strong two-way game. Good flair at the blue line as well, and he thinks the game at a high level. Montreal, Luke Scherer. They've had success with NTD players. Good size, skates well, just like most of those NTD players do. Good stick on the rush, plays hard enough to be projectable, needs to add more to his game with puck management, but could come with playing with a better team. Thomas Russo, hard to play against. He's constantly forechecking, constantly battling. Teams need these kinds of players, so I would say grab him there. Alexei Vlasov, 44 goals in 64 games. He likes to score and shoots. You can't teach that, and some of those guys in Victoriaville did really well this year. Cole Zarowski, I thought he would be higher on my list earlier in the season. He does some things that show he's a pro player, though. Makes some nice passes and plays, and he's got a pretty high-level shot. Here's my 3 rounds here. You can definitely go through it again. I tried to say a little bit on each player, kind of what I see from them. But some of my favorite hauls here. Obviously, the Flames had the most picks here. You got lots of early selections, 8 in 3 rounds here. I see a good partner for Perek or Nemec. Valentini, again, I really like this player. You get the Ruck twins. You got a competitive. These are some good groupings here. St. Louis get Lawrence Dagenet, Preston, Lagerberg, Olofsson, and Tresball. A little good mix there. I think they need to fill up their forward core. And then Vancouver, I really like the Vancouver haul as well. So these are the ones that I really like. Obviously everything's going to change. This is the draft. Half these guys are probably going to trade a bunch of these picks because it just seems like it's happening this year. Couple picks that I see kind of underrated. Florida obviously grabbing Ethan McKenzie at 48. Obviously he's a little bit older for the class, but looks really well. The Kosick, Plant, Burst Calms, Cooper Williams, Lefebvre, Scherer, Galvis, Bilecki. I can see all these guys eventually being NHL players. But thanks again, guys. Really excited about this one, and I hope you enjoy it. Again, this could be all for nothing with a bunch of trades happening overnight tonight. But enjoy, and I love being a part of this. Cheers.